Da-da-da-da-da-da! Hey guys, what's going on? It is Aero for mobile games. I'm bringing you some more Clash Royale. I've got basically, I've been doing gemming for chests. Basically, the idea here is I just don't let any matches go by where I don't have at least something going on. Like, I'm not looking for any no reward games. I'm looking to see if I can get super magical chests. I did manage to get a magical chest earlier yesterday. I left it for opening. I'll open that sucker up in a couple of minutes after we get some battles. We'll get right to it. My deck is standard. It's what I've been doing forever. I'm just trying to basically build up its levels. The thing I am noticing is that it is hard to get epic cards at this point. Not that it wasn't before, but, you know, like, I need 19 more Dark Princes and 16 more Poisons. And, you know, the Ice Wizard would be sweet if he was higher level. But let's face it, that's not really a requirement. Get to doing some of this. Ooh, more Hog Rider. More Hog Rider, you say? But yeah, we will definitely get around to opening up those other the magical chest. I just figure I wait for just a little bit of time. Hopefully we get something nice out of it. No guarantees. But you know, you can always hope. Boo-doo-doo-doo. And so we're in Royal Arena. We've got basically about 2,600 trophies. Sometimes it gets a little bit higher, sometimes it gets a little bit lower. Usually not significantly lower. That does seem to be my bottoming point. If they're going to throw poison, I'm going to throw as many not nice things at them as I can conjure. Waits for it, waits for it, waits for it. And go. Enjoy dying. Oh, everybody uses Zap at this level. It's not surprising. Oh, suck it, Zap. And I mean, that's the reason you use Zap, is because Pecs hit really hard. You know, lots of things hit really hard, honestly. Okay, well, I don't think he realized what my deck does, because it poisons things. But we're going to do it again. And Ice Wizard over here. We're going to throw Dark Prince right behind. Yeah, it sucks what those 2-3 Musketeers were doing on that side, but, you know, it almost did no damage. And it was pretty obvious that that was basically their as soon as they threw the miner to the other side, it was pretty obvious they were going to throw basically their counter that way. I did get more poison damage on that tower, so, you know, I will take that. That's perfectly fine. Throwing another pump, going, oh my god, I need more elixir than you to win. I'm such a cool guy. And I'm like, oh, you're such a cool guy. That's awesome. You should, you know, keep doing that. That would be interesting. Everybody would be interested with that play. And then probably some more poison. Unfortunately, their 3 Musketeers are going to cut me short. We're going to do the same darn thing, quite honestly, though. Poison for them. Waits for it, waits for it, waits for it. Oh my god, shocker. The exact same strategy. And not that I'm, like, some sort of amazing originator of, like, technique or anything like that. I usually do the same damn thing. It's just, you know, if that was their big surprise, was splitting a 3 Musketeer, and, you know, I don't know, that's not much of a surprise. And then, so there goes my tower for me. There we go. They're like, oh my god, gotta win this. Gotta put all my 3 Musketeers in one basket. I'm gonna be like, that's cool. Zap. Explosions. Oh, I threw the explosion second. I should have done that the opposite way. If you throw the, if you throw the fire spirits and then zap directly after them, they do pretty well, is the way to say it. And then I'm just putting pressure on them because honestly I just want them to lose. That's about it. Not too hard of a concept. This will be enough of a push, I think. On the right-hand side, we'll see. I'll start poisoning it. We'll zap it. Bam! Winning. They're all like, oh my god, my Shovel Knight did not win. My legendaries. Whirr. Anyway, if I had more good legendaries, I would totally play with them. I've only got an Ice Wizard and a Lava Hound, and quite honestly, I do not have the sort of savvy to play an air deck, which is what you really want out of a Lava Hound. That's just not me. I really like my Ice Wizard. I wish I had more legendaries, but honestly, they're even harder than Epics to upgrade. So in some ways, it's like, it's almost a blessing in disguise that I got the legendary that I really wanted. And then we've got King in the house. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, awesome. Apparently, while I was on vacation, he managed to get himself a Lava Hound out of a free chest, which is literally the same thing I did. I got it out of a free chest. I didn't think that was going to happen. It was pretty cool, to be honest. And then he got Princess from a crown chest. And I have not gotten a legendary from a crown chest, but that doesn't actually surprise me because they made crown chests so good. So that's awesome. That's definitely what I want to hear. So we're filled up again. Gem time. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see what we get. Gold, Valkyries, Goblins. By opening chests as often as I have, because I've started gemming, I have noticed they throw an awful lot of, like... They throw an awful lot of commons and, and, like, rares. And that makes sense, because, that's the whole point of them. It's like a similar deck system. But, man, you will just pound through just a ton of like low level or less rare cards before you get to like epics and stuff like that. Most of my epics I feel like come from crown chest or possibly from free chest. Very infrequently do they actually come out of the actual chest that I open. We're gonna throw a Dark Prince on that side and really make them have to think about how much they like their Royal Giant. Because I like their Royal Giant. I'm going to kill him right about now. Didn't get as much on the right-hand side as I was hoping for. There's nothing more fun than having them throw a Royal Giant and you basically throw them the disappointment of a lifetime. And they did have an Ice Wizard. Ice Wizard's just too good for the 3 cost. That's why I use him. I mean, that's just no problem stating that one, because it seems at least mildly factually true. They did definitely get more damage on it with their Royal Giant, so we really want to pick this up better. Zap all of this. That Musketeer is doing serious damage. Apparently by body pushing with the wizard, they made him disengage. I would have preferred if he had just continued to attack the tower, because he wasn't fighting that off. That was not a situation where he was going to win. And then since we threw the peck, we might as well give him some backup. We will. I want to poison. I just think it's a little bit risky. There it is. Now we poison. And then Dark Prince behind it, push him around. I was trying to make it so that it would line up and he would hit both of them, because they'd be super dead. And now we turn around, we throw as much garbage as we can, zap all of that, get at least this tower down. Don't have a lot for the right-hand side, but we do have to make sure we finish that off. I've noticed occasionally I've gotten really lazy about finishing off towers, and that's not a good thing to be realizing that you started messing up, because that can get real costly. Okay, we've got 10 elixir, blowing the poison. I say blowing the poison because I was pretty sure what was about to happen did just happen. We're going to throw him down with the Ice Wizard. Peck's going to come over here and deal with this. I threw the Dark Prince on those casters because I thought he would deal with it, but he did not. And not like, oh my god, I can't believe you didn't deal with it. It's like, oh wow, okay, so that's definitely not what I'm looking for. Starting to run away at this point. I've got the distinct impression they could do some serious damage to me, and I probably basically misthrown my cards. So we need to get right back to this. So body push with a Dark Prince doesn't stop, Musketeer from continuing to fire head over heels on that peck. I've noticed that way too often is that body pushes are definitely not remotely close to fair. Okay, throw this poison out. I mean, you know it's coming. Bonk. Whatever. Got a little bit testy at the end. I should have been more conservative. I should have stopped using my pecs for offense like that. It's no good for you. An excellent. So King wants back in the clan. Even though I'm nowhere close to what I normally throw people out at, I can probably throw somebody out for you, King, because I am terrible and biased. Being at the bottom of the list is probably not going to help you out. But you know what? They got 0, so there's a spot if you want it. Let's get back to more of this. We want chests so we can gem them. And then not an extremely strong opening hand. Oh, that's just terrible. And I don't even have like a zap to get rid of those skeletons. So that was a pretty big waste. We're gonna throw Peck from all the way downtown. And then we're going to intentionally throw the Dark Prince because the Peck does way more damage than he does. He's going to kill these guys. I think he'll turn around. No, he doesn't even want to turn around today, huh? That's okay. Makes me upset, but that's okay. He's got a miner, and he uses a golem with it. Shocker! This guy is very original. So I really need to stop playing defense on this deck because, quite honestly, it's not working. Not against a golem and this sort of stuff. I need to start ramming units down their throat and coordinating and attack. But of course, I can't do that because they're trying to get max damage out of me while I don't have elixir to defend myself. And then we'll just start basically a charge from all the way back here. Ideally, we will have Zap. There we go. At least we will get this tower. That'll put us at least in good shape. Yeah, no, I will totally throw poison. I don't want all of that garbage doing what it's going to try to do right now, which is get as many hits as it can. Peck doesn't want to go to the other side. I get it. Wink. You're a terrible person. I mean, we might as well just go for the 3 crown because I don't really want to distract myself away from that golem. We're definitely going to try to get as much Hog Rider in there since they're just going to keep throwing the golem to basically block any advances I've got going. Don't get me wrong, that's not necessarily the worst thing for us because that means that we basically... oof. No. Okay, that's bad. And... this might be okay. No, just died instantly. Whatever. Oh yeah, if they're going to golem that side, we are absolutely going to throw as much and try to 3-crown them right now. Well, this is probably over. Yep. not too much you're going to do there. I could have at least drawn it out. I was really hoping to get more out of it. Honestly, I play such a lopsided deck. I don't have a lot of the things that people have in theirs. I don't have any minions. I don't have anything like that. Welcome back, King. So sometimes these are just inevitable. Like, just playing skeletons with a minion horde is surprisingly good, like what he was doing there for blocking what I throw in my group. Most of the cleavers in the game, like the multi-hitters, the Valkyrie is pretty solid, but the Valkyrie doesn't hit air. The Wizard hits air, but he's pretty squishy. You know, like it's a hard decision of what you really want to throw into your deck. And for me, I know what I've got is very specific to what I like, and that just means I deal with it sometimes. Waits for it to lock on. We'll throw our goblins in the back. Who would have thought? More people using barbarians. You know, shocker. Good job, Fire Spirits. And this is going to cost me big time. Didn't have the elixir to push that off. It's kind of the same situation they had a second ago. Screw it. We'll get the cold off of that knight. We'll take that tower. And start offense on this side. Okay, so we're probably expecting a Hog Rider soon. We'll throw out an Ice Wizard. And then we can throw a Fire Spirit right here. And that wasn't too much damage. We should probably go for the tower even though they're ahead. Boop, 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 boop. We should poison the hell out of that. And then, what do we have that's good? Just 1v1. We could throw Spear Goblins up the line. Oh, instantly lost that. That stinks. Okay, well, we're going to throw Dark Prince. And then, see if we can get a push in on their side. While they're distracted over there, I'm going to send my Hog Rider this away. My Hog Rider is unfortunately going to get chopped up. Their Hog Rider also chopped up. Sort of back to where we started. And then this time, I think we're just going to poison. And then Dark Prince goes in there to basically hold them. The dragon's still going for my tower, though, which is unfortunate. So I'm pretty much just going to lose this at this point. We can throw as much as we want at their tower, hope to win it. At least stay in it, I should say. But that seems unlikely. They play the same stuff I usually have to deal with, which is a whole bunch of barbarians. And, you know, those die so easily, right? But hey, is what it is. Oh no, I lost. Terrible. Anyway, let's see what we got going on. Akak's in the house. That's excellent. And then, wow, I can butcher this name so bad. So I've got Megnan Noah, maybe? Probably not. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. And yeah, so Akak is also working on the Legendary as his king. Legendary Arena sort of sucks. I've gotten it to like 2900s, and I fought people in Legendary Arena, and who would have thought they had like cards that were 2 levels higher than my cards, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And then I've got Utugas in the house. What's going on? We will totally open up magical chests after, let's just say, 2 more batches. I figured I had to at least wait for Akak to show up. He knows that I love him. He knows it. Boop, 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 boop. Oh my god. And then I think we're going to actually mess this one up a little bit. Nah, I was going to hog right off to the right-hand side as a distract. But I think I'll do something slightly different. Well, good job. Peck is tanking. Zap now. Have you restart. I will happily take that tower. Peck's been murdering that giant. It actually straight did not get it. Like, that's the crazy part. Oh, good damage. Good damage, Peck. And then I would poison that, but it's so juicy. And I can't do that. It's just too ambitious. Thank you, Dark Prince. I love you. Take them blasts to the face. Dark Prince really does take, basically Sparky to the face. Without it, I would have to have at least guards in my deck. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I can't keep Zap in my hand. Like, there's no way I'm holding it. There's way too many opportune situations where I'm just like, and then we will murder that guy. And Zap is basically the fourth move in every single one of those. So, you know, like, I don't want to give that up. Ooh, good placement by their guards. Ooh, guards are a pretty hard counter to mini-pack. I didn't even think about that. Dark Prince, get out them and show them what shields are all about. And then I did have to stun that time. They took my shields. I would love to pretend that that was going to work. It was not going to work. And then we can do this right here. And this right here. Because I do really want to get rid of that. And I do really want to get back to punishing them. But it looks like they've actually got like a solid flow against me. I'm going to have to throw poison on my side of the field. Same thing with my Peck. I don't want to do this. I just realized that I should. Oh, they're about to get super murdered. Congratulations, you used the Sparky correctly. Okay, so this is literally just the Sparky deck. Got it. Guy's kind of a jerk. Pretty impressed. Etc. This is where he'll be like, Rocket! And I'll be like, oh my god, Rocket makes you cool. Excellent. Do. Ooh, so Chad Eastman's giving me info that apparently Baby Dragon, Giant Baby Dragon and Witch is amazing. And I only use one deck, so I'm actually going to take his word for it and throw it in there. Maybe play with it later. Sometimes I get bored, and I literally do want to change. Usually not when I'm streaming, but hey, if people ask for these things, that's fine. But he also said the magic word, which is witch, and I love using the witch. So I'll probably try that later. Might even stream it next time. We'll find out. Boo. And then Rivas Gaming goes, hey, you want to play me? And I'm like, hey, are you in my clan? Because if you're in my clan, then yes. And if not, then you would at least have to have me kick somebody out of my clan to get you in. Yeah, so the funny thing is, and this is in dialogue, I've got King and Akak telling me, so Zap is used to basically reset Sparky, but what it doesn't do is it doesn't reset Inferno Towers. I really wish it did too, because that would be really attractive. And we got one more match, and then we're going to open up that magical chest. But you know what? That is what it is. Lots of people don't actually play structures in higher level arenas anymore. They put basically the nerf on them hard enough. The only structures you almost always see is Elixir Pump, and then occasionally a cannon because it's 3 cost and it basically saves your butt from, you know, all sorts of things that 3 elixirs shouldn't cancel out. But it is what it is. Oh man, I'm going to abuse poison in this deck. So bad. Okay, so they are really setting it up. I don't have anything in my hand that's honestly going to save my ass right now, which is real bad. So I got to basically cycle. And then... And yeah, it stinks they got that miner on the tower. Miner's not nearly as bad as some things are, so, you know, is what it is. Oh man, Barbarian's on top of a spawner deck. Shocking. Yeah, so we're just going to get the shit kicked out of us right here, because all they're doing is throwing traditional spawner, and I didn't card shuffle in anything that looked like a real deck, so, you know, this is basically us losing, and GG. I guess we can continue, you know, attacking their structures, I guess, but if they've already taken my right side that quickly, there's no way in hell I'm defending and taking basically everything on the right-hand side. I'm not doing any complicated tactics right now. I'm just basically throwing cards because I basically have already lost this game. Like, people could be like, oh, come on, it's fine. You could just get it back in round 2, blah, 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 elixir after the first minute. But if you lose to a spawner deck in the first, like, minute of a game, that's a very different situation from what other people can do. Because, I mean, look at this guy. All he's going to do is keep throwing all of this garbage. My only real hope is to get a good poison in there, and, you know, I don't see a good poison. Like, he even has a good poison. I don't even have the good poison. And then, so all I can do is basically stick these in my deck, hope that they work out, and then... But they're just going to come through and just wreck me. There's just way too much garbage on here. Like, as I said, I can attack the spawners with poison, but, you know, I would need way more than that. And at this point, I'm not really trying to defend my tower, because I've already lost this game. Like, there's no point in not at least trying to get their tower down. And the likelihood that I can basically push this off until, you know, overtime is done, another minute of this, yeah, right. Like, they've got everything they need to kick my ass. This comp was not attractive. I don't ever want to fight against a princess and a miner with a spawner deck, and thankfully they're both legendaries, so that should make it so that that's a less likely thing to happen. But I've seen way too many people with 3 or 4 legendaries at this point in their deck, and so I've got the impression that that might be something that I have to run into again, and that stinks. Boop 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 boop. And then, let's see here. We've got SK Frags. Hey, bro, big fan. Do you have any tips for me? What arena are you in, and what are you using, and what do you like to play? It really just depends on where you are with this game, because quite honestly, you know, like, I can go up to almost Legendary Arena, and I can fall to, you know, the middle of Royal Arena right now. And that's where I've been for a while, but if you ask me about how to do stuff in lower level arenas, I might have some decent advice for you. It just depends on where you're at and what you're looking to do. And then, so, I'm at not quite 200 donated, but let's face it, there's some people who already have donations. Akax almost got 400. People who are on the bottom of the list, that is not a good thing for you. Giving you the kick. Dink, dink, dink. We're just going to do... Anyway, we'll leave that person. If somebody wants to join in and basically battle, by all means, we can do that. And then I did say that we would do... Oh, man. We'll do basically magical chest now. Let's take a look, see what's in there. I'm really hoping for more legendaries. I think everybody's always hoping for more legendaries. We get gold. God, I love the amount of gold they give you. A musketeer. 1, not even 3. 1 musketeer. 11 minions, that's okay. Oh, there's 3 musketeers. And 3 of them. So that's like 9 musketeers. So 10 total musketeers. And then I got some peck, which I like. Archers, which, you know, I should probably upgrade and use archers at some point. I just haven't found the real need for it. Inferno Tower is okay. We'll take some guards. Level 3 guards would be pretty cool. I didn't quite get them, but hey, That's closer. So no legendary. All I got was an epic. All I got. I think those are guaranteed on them anyway. But I'm noticing that basically by using gemming to open up chests, as I said, I go through a lot of stuff faster. If I was looking for high tier cards, Um, I would probably spend my. I would probably just buy magical chests, honestly. Um, just because they're concentrated. Like you're guaranteed to get at least 2 epics. For this one, you get 17 epics. That costs so much more than this one does. But at the same time, if you're really trying to go crazy, like super magical chest, you could do that too, I guess. And then that's Android Games. It's got a little skull with an upside down purple triangle. If you want to do it, by all means. And I already did kick somebody, so by all means, as soon as you join in there, if you want to do friendly matches and stuff, we totally can. Oh, well, that's very unfortunate. Screw it, I'll just poison this area. Well, that answers that question. Gonna wait for my elixir to peak back up, and then we will throw more stuff after I yell at my dog for being a jerk. 'Cause she is. Delightful jerk, but still a jerk. Big fan of using the fire spirits against Prince. It doesn't work perfectly by any stretch of the imagination. Also, I just let all of those barbs get onto my tower. That's really bad. God, that's really bad, yeah. Well, looks like I deserve to lose for not playing barbarians. Woo! I don't know. I've noticed more so and more that I don't think barbarians are very weighted very fair. I feel like they have way too much HP. Um, honestly, like they have way too much HP for their cost. They kill everything the way that they always do. If I was going to suggest nerf, that's where it would be. And maybe that's just egocentric of my deck. I don't know, but it feels pretty true across the board. Um, they're just used too often. Like they're pretty much as bad as like the cannon and other things like that. But yeah, I have a particular disdain for barbs. It's just what it is at this point. As I said, there's 4 of them. They do too much damage. They have too much HP. They cost a whole. Look at that. It's rough. 5 elixir. 5 elixir. Yeah, sure. Not. I'm not buying it anymore. Do 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 do. And then, so one of the things I have noticed is that fire spirits behind a good charge usually equates out to something nice. Usually, when you throw two medium-sized units, you throw like a hog rider and a peck, something like that. People will counter with the traditional counters of barbarians or hordes. Usually, something that can deal with them pretty effectively. And so I've noticed more so and more that if you just throw fire spirits behind it, which obviously cost 2 more elixir, so I'm not pretending it's like, just throw them. Those are free, right? If you throw basically fire spirits behind a charge like this, like what I'm doing right here, you usually get a little bit more mileage out of it. And then we're just going to zap all of this. I mean, King's Tower is going to come out right now anyway. I'd rather hit the Princess. Get the damage on the tower too. And then, so, we'll see if we can defend against this. Don't have a lot. That's great for that in my hand right this second. And I mean, you see them, they zap my peck every single time I throw it against their Hog Rider. They're like, oh my god, my Hog Rider, it's my strategy. I'm like, yeah, I totally get it, it's my strategy too. Look, I'm gonna do the same darn thing back to you. Doot. 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 And then I think we're going to kill all of these with the same card. And then we'll see what we can do about pushing this over. And then Fire Spirits behind the Hog Rider. And then this is getting a little bit ridiculous. We only have 16 seconds left. The likelihood that we get all of this is pretty low. They know that. All they were trying to do is basically stall since we got their tower early. I can't honestly play defense all that well with this deck. I don't have a structure. I don't have a real tanker unit like a giant. So it gets really difficult for me to basically take one and hold it. That's usually why I get more aggressive. But the more that I actually play, the more I'm noticing that I either need higher level cards or I definitely need a different strategy if I want more consistent winnings. This deck was super solid at the beginning of Royal Arena, but near the end of Royal Arena, it gets a little bit rough. Boo, 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 boo. And yeah, I mean, and so people are saying, yeah, barbarians may be a little bit overpowered. I don't personally think they need any gigantic nerf. I just think their values are just slightly too high. And it's not that I think that they should become very defensive or they should become very offensive but become squishier. No. They're 4 units and they're a mix of this and that, of basically offense and defense. And I just think they're too good for what they cost. Oh, this sucks. Yep. Okay, so we're going to throw Fire Spirits. It's going to get rid of the Sparky for us. We're going to throw the Peck behind. We're going to throw Zap as soon as we can get it out. Which, of course, we can't. But hey. We're doing okay. I do like Fire Spirits an awful lot. I use them because they work for part of my anti-air. It's basically the same thing as a Fireball, but cheaper. If you level it up really hard, honestly, it's indistinguishable from actually just using the Fireball. My god. So much fun. Might as well get damage on their tower. Softening up Sparky a little bit's not going to hurt my feelings either. Come on, that's not what I wanted you to kill. So this is going to go sideways as fast as possible. Royal Giant's going to do his thing. We're going to lose massively. Sparky's going to kill everything. And because, you know, my timing was off. There's a delay on the game. Shocker. You should know that. You play this game enough, Aero. And then, realistically, we have to wait to get through that. With only 10 seconds left, I'm not seeing this. If I had, like, another 10 seconds, sure, but I also would lose the other tower to Sparky. So, Sparky, again, pretty difficult to deal with. You throw him behind a Royal Giant, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. I don't have a strong counter against that other than really good timing. And, you know, so congratulations. You know, that's great. And then, so, apparently, Rivist Gaming wants to battle us. He's spectating against Akak. Oh, nice. We're gonna keep going. And so basically all of that was just debate. I didn't have enough elixir to get out like a solid push as far as the like getting at a fire spirit. But we still got the tower anyway. You know, I saw that they threw an elixir pump and barbarian, so I was like, oh, I should probably go to another lane. Probably a good idea. Yeah, we'll go with that idea. And then right now we're basically just pushing that onto their 3 crown because we'll see what they throw out. They threw a Valkyrie. Shocker. We get, you know, some barbarians. That's the counter to just about everything, right? Throw some more barbarians at it? Actually, it is. No, seriously, what doesn't it counter except for air units? That's really my only gripe against it. Hope you like all of this damage. And then, so they managed to hog it out. Good for them. And in no way, shape, or form would I suggest anybody who's currently playing Barbarians to stop playing Barbarians. They're good. Overlevel the hell out of them. You should take advantage of it. Like, you really should. And honestly, if it's not that big of a deal and that I'm just overreacting, fantastic. Just keep playing. You know, like, all that's going to happen is you're going to get, you know, higher up and you're going to play with them, and if they don't adjust them, then that'll be the standard, and you'll be playing the way you're supposed to be playing. It's not like Mortar where people are just cheesing. It's just that it's a really good unit. You're not ruining my gameplay experience. I gripe because it's like, oh my god, shocker, barbarians. Like, that's just the feeling I get on them entirely too often, where it's like, you have played a card, and it's like, they did not think, they played barbarians, they have countered you. It's like, oh, the positioning and timing of the 4 barbarians matters. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Unless you hula hoop a giant, doesn't matter at all. You just throw them in there. And then at this point, I'm just trying to basically make a sad little unhappy field for them to have to deal with. Take my match. That's as best as I can do defense. I lost a full tower, almost lost the second one. And as I said, it's just because I'm playing an aggressive deck. I'm looking to basically push down on people. Mm-mm-mm. Excellent. So I've got World Racer. He goes, hello, I'm in Arena 7, and I need to keep me there. I got no legendary. Can you help me, please? Yeah, actually, if you do... obviously, I've got basically an Ice Wizard in there. If you've got a Baby Dragon, you can throw the same thing. It won't have the freezing effect, but Baby Dragon's actually really solid at anti-air. He's not perfect. You can also use either regular minions or Minion Horde with the deck I've got. If you prefer, you can also switch him out for a tower. A Tesla is more rounded, and I would personally prefer playing with it. If you want something that kills giants, use the Inferno Tower. If you want something that's absurdly cheap and easy to throw to counter things like Hog Rider and basically just about everything, go with the Cannon. The Cannon is probably played the most of any defensive unit other than the Elixir Pump right now, and there's a good reason for it. It does an absurd amount of damage for only 3 elixir. It's got a lot of HP, and quite honestly, it counters Royal Giant if played appropriately, and it counters Hog Rider if just played at all, like which is before they get onto your side and past the point where a Hog Rider won't turn around. I mean, that's really all you got to do with it. If you don't like what I'm doing composition wise, switch out the Dark Prince for a Valkyrie. They're the same cost. It's a very similar unit. If you don't like basically being this aggressive, then as I said, think about using more defensive units. A Valkyrie is slower, so it's not looking to charge on people. Using structures will certainly slow down your defense. And then I personally think Poison and Zap are the 2 best spells in the game, but I've definitely have seen people use Fireball and even Freeze still. Like, they nerf Freeze, but Freeze, if you have the right deck for Freeze, Freeze is fantastic. This is not the right deck for Freeze any longer. But yeah, hopefully that is helpful. If you don't like Hog Rider, that's fine. I don't know what you would play besides Hog Rider. I mean, you could just play a Royal Giant deck. If you just search Royal Giant deck, there's entirely too many of those on the internet right now. If you find the things that you're looking for to balance it out, that's what it's looking for. I would heavily encourage people to try out Fire Spirits if they have not already. Mine are level 9. If you get them to at least level 6 in Royal Arena, you'll see some of the benefit around level 7 and 8. They'll start killing the things you want to kill. The cheapest way to get rid of a 3 Musketeer combo is if they do throw them and you basically got your traditional triangle formation. You throw the Fire Spirit and then immediately throw a Zap on top of it. The idea here is that they will be stunned while the Fire Spirits are spawned because Zap comes out instantly and Fire Spirits comes out with a 1-second delay like everything else does. That's the reason why Zap is so universally used, is it doesn't have the same delay time as everything else. For its utility mostly, but the fact that you can get it out so quick. You can literally kill an entire pack of 3 Musketeers with only using 4 elixir. Anyway, that's just little tips and strats. It's hard to have both Zap and Fire Spirits in my hand at one time because I use them so often to augment pushes. But if you know that they're using specific things like that, then that's what you basically save it for. Boop boop boo. What's going on, Pella? I'm glad you made it to the stream. Akak, why would you try using anything besides Royal Giant? It is so good right now. Everybody use Royal Giant. Nah, I think Royal Giant's awesome, actually. I know that's, like, contrary to what should make sense. It's like, oh my god, how can you like that? It's overplayed. I'm like, yeah, it totally is overplayed, but it's not Mortar. I'm glad that the people who want to play Mortar now play Royal Giant, because I have a chance at taking any deck that I put together and having a chance of killing a Royal Giant. It's basically the same thing as fighting down a Golem, and, you know, if that's okay with you, then that's okay. This is a really bad opening hand. I played basically directly into their strategy. This guy is going to punish the shit out of me, and I don't normally swear, but this guy's going to take me down real hard, because I literally mismatched. This is one of the dangers of having very specific decks, is you have to be able to either make a intelligent offense or play a smart defense while waiting for them to play something that you can actually counter. I'm not playing anything right now because I've got what I need in my hand, and honestly, that cannon is not doing me any favors. So I'm literally just gonna wait for it to die, throw a Hog Rider, and oh my god, please poison, get into my hand. Apparently I threw goblins. I did not mean to throw those goblins, so that's technical error on my side. I'm doing just fine as far as what I did damage there because I waited. If I had thrown the Hog Rider earlier, it just would have gotten beat up by their tower, would have beaten up by their cannon. Please hit that cannon at least once. Excellent. And boop, boop, boop. So it looks like most of this is going to get through. They can still spawn something. They zapped. It looks like I got the charge there, and so that's pretty good. They're still going to take that tower with their Royal Giant, which is a problem because then the Royal Giant can basically just walk into my base. I don't have, honestly, a good push right this second. This poison will be super effective in taking those towers and softening up those minions. That is what I want to see there. There's no way I'm stopping him from getting my tower. Even pushing him so he has to make another step with the Dark Prince, not going to stop that. I knew that ahead of time. Realistically, we're going to push on the left-hand side, try to get in as much damage as humanly possible. We've got a decent push. They do a fireball that basically just shut me completely down, and that's not surprising. Like, fireball's solid. We really need to kill these ice wizards. They're stopping. Actually, probably didn't have to stop them. All things considered, probably didn't have to stop them. Oh, it timed out. I didn't zap that. Anyway, that's terrible. Misplay, misplay, misplay. This guy, so bad. Ooh, King's using a Mortar Princess. That is terrible. Good job. Hopefully, it takes a little bit more skill than put down water, win, eat popcorn, but I'm sure it does, honestly, now. Okay, so they put down basically an elixir pump. We want to push on that as quickly as we can. And the funny part is, since they threw that ice wizard that basically blocks me from being able to push on it, I can zap that, just to basically make it so that I don't have to deal with them after the fact. And wizard plus goblins would be okay, actually, against this. And then, I guess, hard to say. I kind of want to resume on the right-hand side because it's a little bit lower. Also because they're already thinking about what they want to push. Oh, yeah, that's real nice. Get that charge on. It would be awesome if Dark Princess charge did even more damage than it does. I understand why it doesn't. Something about being balanced and fair. But, hey, I can always dream. And then, so, we're going to try to go sideways on these guys. If nothing else... Ooh, this is bad. If nothing else, if you throw the Fire Spirits in a way so that they have to walk at least a step away, it gives your tower probably another shot on it. Definitely worth it. And then I probably could have zapped that situation and gotten some pretty good mileage out of it. I'm getting good mileage out of it anyway. Poison with goblins is actually pretty okay. They do a surprising amount of damage over time. So what, this guy has like 2 giants? That's really nice of him. Oh wait, no, that's the last one. No, he does have 2 giants. Okay, so I'm not crazy. This Peck needs to get out here now. So that's going to be a tower swap. There's no question whether or not they're going to get that tower. That's 2 giants. And now we got to really... They're going to fireball this. They are totally going to fireball this. They didn't fireball it. I'm really glad they didn't fireball it. So, with the amount of backlash I had right there, like, I was pretty sure what we were going to see was they were going to basically use a spell at the choke point. Instead, they used units. I don't have a clue how they had, honestly, that much elixir at that point. But hey, that is what it is. We'll throw Hog Rider Distract. Um, Heck, that right-hand side isn't going anywhere anyway. Throw Ice Wizard here. And then don't really have any interest in losing my Spearies. But we'll take a victory where we can get it. As I said, it gets harder in Royal Arena as time goes on. Everybody levels up their cards. I'm doing the same darn thing, quite honestly. Half the reason why I decided that I wanted to start gemming was I wanted to throw some money at the game. I wanted to get an idea of what would happen if I did that. I can pretty easily say that it's great and all that I get like gold out of it, but I would be better off. I would probably be better off using gems and money to buy gold and buy the specific cards I want. If I wasn't in a clan, then I couldn't request cards, but since I can request cards, I can just sort of do this over time. I don't even have to do this to keep going, honestly, to like get stronger. It's just it feels like Royal Arena is definitely getting chock full of people who have higher level cards. That are basically pushing out strategies that are legitimately viable, and I think that legitimately it's turning into basically a pretty legendary arena. Not that it wasn't before, but I'm just saying, like, the sort of things you see in here is not what you saw before that patch where they put in so many legendaries. There are so many legendary players in Royal Arena compared to what there used to be. Yeah, you used to see, I mean, obviously the two that existed. There was an Ice Wizard and there was a Princess, and maybe there was both of them in a deck, and you're like, oh man, that guy's awesome. I wish I had his deck. But now it's like, hey, all of these legendaries. So basically, that's what you really have to play with in Royal Arena. Boop 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 boo. I've got Kunal Sharma because, hey guys, someone please give me some good strategies for Arena 5. Let's take a look see at 5. So if you have if you have any of, I mean, that's funny because those are my spells and that's my fire spirits. So and that's my ice wizard. So literally half of my deck is from Spell Valley. If you have those cards, you can play everything that I play other than the Dark Prince, because he's the only later addition to it. Um, if you if you don't have those cards and you're realistically more in the 4, definitely use a Hog Rider. Definitely use at least some defensive unit, a defensive structure, because quite honestly, other people will have Hog Rider at this point. Unless you already have a mini pack that's pretty well leveled up, you can use Barbs, just like I was complaining against a Hog Rider, that sort of stuff. That is definitely the way I would go. Until you get basically wizard and stuff like that. And that's the thing. You play barbarian in Spell Arena. The only problem is wizards do hard counter them. It's just, wizards are so squishy that legitimately, unless you have something in front of it or you can play it with like good timing, it's not necessarily going to be a good trade for you, because wizards cost just as much as barbarians do, which is appropriate because they can kill barbarians. It's just they're a 5 cost unit, so they're squishy. You have to have some sort of tank in front of them. You can use a giant. You can use a giant skeleton, but they are very fickle. You have to get really good at using a giant skeleton to make it really work for you. It's much more about timing and being an opportunist with them, and so it's not necessarily as good of a tank as like a giant is for basically getting on in there and then sending your wizard behind it to make sure that your wizard's bodyguarding it. Um, I would advise something like boop boop boop. Here, we'll throw this one. Ding ding ding. Boop. Boop 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 boop. Boop. And then you won't have elixir pump. Ding 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 ding. And you won't have royal giant. Actually, we'll just use regular minions. So, if you use something like this and basically had a whole bunch of low-cost units, because, I mean, that's what this is basically a giant barbarians for basically bodyguard, a wizard for cleaning stuff up, and then just a whole bunch of garbage to throw at them, you can definitely do that. Keep zap or arrows or something, like keep a spell. If you don't have a spell in your deck, I feel like that's a huge, that's just a big downside. You really should have at least a spell in your deck, because they make it so that after you throw your cards down and put them on the field and they're interacting, your opponent plays something that you can't counter quickly or that's on their side of the field, and that's literally what spells are for. Um, anyway, I would throw something like this if you want to replace the skeletons with like a hog rider and go a little bit more of a higher elixir cost. But this is basically a low elixir cost. You can basically put a sustained push forward with the giant. You can deal with anti-air with basically your wizard, your minion, and your spear goblin, and you can deal with a lot of things on the ground with just the goblins or the regular goblins or the skeleton. Um, this doesn't have a lot of pizzazz, but it would be solid. Honestly, that's the way I would say it. And if you don't like these cards, please do use other things. It's definitely not recommended to play cards you hate. That's stupid. They have a lot of good cards in this game. They've done a really good job of like basically grinding the edges and making sure that we don't have very specific, very niche cards that once you have them, they're basically you must play this against them to stop them. That's just not how the game is. It's really great because of that. That's definitely the reason why I still play this game. Is that they have given me the feeling that they'll get the balance right every patch eventually, and when they put out a new patch, it'll be an interesting time where people will be able to try stuff out and able to do things, and basically trying new strats, which is exciting. I'm not looking for them to rebalance constantly. Like that does create chaos, but their last balance is amazing. Their last balance change basically, or the last two, because it was one that introduced new cards, and then the second one to rebalance them said we don't want a defensive structure game anymore, and we want everybody to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. And so I actually really enjoy the fights that I get now, which is amazing. Let's see. Anywhere else? Do. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. And yeah, Kings is actually pretty solid. Mm-mm. And so, Kunal Sharma, if you hate people who play giants, play a mini pack. Mini pack literally just cuts them in half. You can also play an Inferno Tower. Those are the two signature giant killers in the game. There isn't anything else in this entire game that kills them nearly as quick. A musketeer will kill them over time, and a giant will also be stopped by a regular cannon, like the 3-cost cannon that's right there that I'm clicking on, because they have to fight it. Like they have to fight it, and cannons, even though they have less HP than they used to, they still do a pretty solid amount of damage. Put them near the middle of your playing field. That way, the giants have to divert towards them, and so they take a longer path to get to your eventual towers anyway. I mean, you could play an Expo. I haven't seen anybody play an Expo in forever. Oh my god. 6 cost. I will not recommend this to anybody. But yeah, that's about all you want to deal with giants. You could do 3 musketeers, but you're nowhere close to that arena-wise. And honestly, they're very expensive, and you wouldn't want that to be your giant counter because giants are so cheap compared to them. Hey Pella, you should work less hard about being in the top 3. Oh, only top 2. Let's see here. Yeah, no, I'm 5th in my clan now. I'm big old scrub. I don't know why you guys deal with me. I was doing pretty well earlier in the week, but man, I'm not in a good place right now. I'm hoping that I'll get back. Oh my god, Akak, you are perfect. I definitely had a situation at work where we had the discussion come up about why can't we drink at work, because legitimately the work I used to do was consulting work, and so long as you didn't drink heavily, like you were not even face to face, you were talking to people over the phone, and you're like, why can't I have a beer when I'm doing this? And like, because you're fine. But what about this person over here? And I'm like, oh yeah, they're ruining it for the rest of us, aren't they? I'm like, yeah, totally are. I'm glad to hear, Akak, that you are at work and that you are playing the game called No, Seriously, I Don't Want to Work. I want to watch people stream on YouTube. I fully support this. Oh, shit. Well, I'm going to get that left tower. Let's see what we can do about this right tower. This is bad. And then we'll slow Spear Goblins all the way over there. Keep on coming. So that's ideally what you want to do with basically with a regular peck. You want to just kite it across your lawn. Obviously, I still lost that entire right side tower. Nothing can be done against. You know, I mean, they still had a wizard and a musketeer. Wizards are way too cheap for what they do utility-wise, but their damage is so paltry that that's the reason they get away with it. Yeah, as soon as I started using basically the ice wizard, I was real happy with the results. We'll throw you in here, we'll throw you in there, and then we will blow shit up with fire spirits. Oh man. And then... Oh, that's really unfortunate. I used my zap on the back instead of the front. I would have at least gotten a hit on their tower otherwise. And then this is a really ranged team they got there. Ideally, I want to kill all of them. So they're trying to stack up double musketeers. They should. Musketeers are good. They do lots of damage. You just got to make sure you kill them. Well, that's good. Get at least some damage on there. We did this before. We're going to basically kite across if we can. That's not necessarily where I wanted those. But hey, whatever. Oh, I'm super done. Yeah, there it goes. There's the rage. I lose. There's no way I'm getting that down in time. Yep. Is what it is. The Dark Prince, I flubbed him over the line. I was trying to use him distract, but I didn't notice where his feet were. So that was just bad play on my part. Kunal Sharma is definitely welcome on the channel. His response about people needing gems is appropriate, perfect, and fantastic. Thank you very much for making me laugh. Anyway, we're going to stand off right here. They don't want to play anything. We don't want to play anything. Shocker. There we go. Now we got at least something in our hand. There are definitely some days where I wish I had cheaper units, because then I could use them to basically pepper. I could use them basically to basically split push. That's one of the only things I dislike about my deck, is that everything I have costs so much that it has to be used well, or else it's basically a waste. I don't think I have like a high skill cap deck. I think that my deck does one very specific thing, which is try to take towers as quick as humanly possible, and then sort of half-ass defend at the end. Like, that's 100% my impression of my own deck. Oh my god, these goblins are going freaking wild on that left side. Maybe I'll just play nothing but goblins on the left side this entire fetch. That would be kind of funny for me. Bang! Two to 3 conversion there. Technically, I won that. I don't know if I want to say that that's a win. We're going to throw this wizard in the back. And I'm kind of waiting for them to... There it goes. Well, it looks like they had plenty left over too. That's unfortunate. But yeah, that musketeer in the back is doing some serious work. It's gonna keep doing work, honestly. Wow, that didn't even splash the musketeer. I'm kind of surprised at that. Fire Spirit's AoE got increased. It was definitely a noted and like wanted change. because, man, I sure did want it, and it did make a pretty solid difference. And then here goes the garbage. Like, literally everything that I'm allowed to throw at the same time. Plus, we'll throw some poison, because screw it. But I've got good feelings about this. Definitely got good feelings about this. This is the thing I like about my deck. If people make it so that I can counter them with basically Dark Prince or Peck, something like that, so they can take a second to turn it around, I will crush them as best I can, honestly. Oh my god, so many gold chests. Minion Horde. But yeah, I love it. I really do. Yeah, no, I definitely will basically boot somebody. Canal, if you want in, there we go. Android Games, upside down purple triangle or whatever the heck it is with the skull on it. It's the best, obviously, motto. And come on in. I will happily help you out. Lots of people in my group will happily help you out. We have no problem telling you what we think, and if you think our opinions are crap, you're allowed to say that opinion is crap, and we will not get offended. So hopefully you like it. As I said, based on your discussion thus far in live chat, sounds like you're a pretty upstanding guy. We will happily take you into the clan. We're always looking for good people who are a little bit spunky and a little bit silly. That's definitely the MO for the clan. Hype says GG. Thank you. Appreciate it. H1PE. I'm assuming that's hype. I'm calling that hype. If that's not hype, I don't know what hype is. And then Zognorm goes, hello, finally around for a live one. Woo. What's going on, Zognorm? Get back to this action. What are we at, hour and something? Yeah, of course we are. We'll get some more games in. If you guys want to see something specific, please do tell me. I'm more than willing to listen and such. There's really no point in me putting out ooh. There you go. Let's get as many terrible things on this side as we can. While they throw that Valkyrie, it's going to really gum that up. We're going to throw a Hog Rider on the right-hand side because that Ice Wizard's still going for it. That's kind of appropriate. But yeah, this is really the thickness, if you will, of Royal Arena. The problems with it are that, you get so many people. This guy's only level 8, but he's got a Hog Rider level 7. So, it's not fair to be like, oh my god, he's so low level. I'm like, no, this guy is not low level. He's specifically picked his cards on purpose. Oh yeah, I'm absolutely going to poison the hell out of that. So we took the left tower. Let's see what we can do about taking the right tower. What do we want here? We'll throw Ice Wizard all the way back. I've got almost what I'm looking for. Hog Rider! There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so we go Peck, we go Ice Wizard. Oh man, this is the reason I don't use freeze anymore, by the way, right here. So they did a really good job of that freeze with that Hog Rider, but now I've got 4 guys coming into their base, and none of them are nice guys. Literally all of them jerks. Also, I use poison. I love poison against spawners. Like, it stinks when somebody's got, like, a higher level spawner deck, and that's all they're gonna do is just pound that out. Because there's only so much I can do against those. You have to really time your stuff. But against, like, a half spawner push, I will happily take that game. Awesome. It is glad I'm happy to hear somebody named Hype is also in Royal Arena 7. It's good. It's good. And Chopper Guy is back. He makes very short videos chopping random objects. Yes, a chop. He is so funny. Like, this guy shows up in some of the streams I also do for AWOL, and oh my god, it just makes me laugh because it's funny. Like, to me, it's just funny. If you guys are not aware, I've been doing streaming duties for President AWOL's channel. We're doing Overwatch over there. He's out of town a lot, and he's a really nice guy. So he was like, hey, you should play FPSs for me. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I can do that. I think we're just going to let that one go. Like, I want to go for it. Like, really go for it. But I'm glad I didn't, because now I know that they've got an Inferno Tower. Inferno Tower is still really good defensive structure. It costs Elixir, shocker, that's appropriate for its cost. It still sucks against hordes. And so, you know, it's not like it's the end-all be-all for defense. You still have to have something that it's appropriate for it to target, for it to get really good max usage out of. But man, and this guy has 2 defensive structures. Haven't seen that in a while. We're going to probably poison the heck out of this guy. And that's just going to be the way it is. Things will never change. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. It's just the way it is. Bang. Mini Pet goes, I don't like you. Chop. Almost as good as that guy, the Chopper. Not quite as good. That guy's pretty good. Oh my god, who would have thought? More defensive structures. Boop-boo! Yeah, so this is kind of unfortunate because this is like basically a strat you would throw before the last 2 patches where you're like, oh my god, I've got my Hog Rider and I'm going to play my defense. But they literally threw the amount of defense, the amount of HP that defensive structures have on the ground. Like, they took a good 20, probably 10 to 15% away from every defensive structure, and that does make a difference because this game really is about your card levels. And so when you're fighting somebody who has the appropriate level of cards that you do, and their defensive structures are 10% weaker, they get through them in 1 hit faster, 2 hits faster. This person apparently also gave up. So we'll end it quick. Throw Fire Spirits because they amuse me. Zap that tower because I felt like it. And you know, like that, as soon as you are able to actually hit their tower every time, like get those chips in, chip damage is like king in this game. Literally is like the most important thing other than a really strong push, and even more important than that is really strong defense. But without having like crippling your offense. Oh man, Epic Skeleton Army. Mine is only level 2. I wish those... man, I used those guys. They were so good back in, like, the lower arenas. But there's no way I can justify using them now. Because, I mean, you can kill most of an Epic Skeleton Army with just Zap still. Like, 2 Elixir for absurd amounts. Like, if Epic Skeleton Army costs less, I would use it. But it's so vulnerable to basically every spell in the game. But yeah, I will definitely be streaming Overwatch later this afternoon. If you guys are interested, it'll probably be around 6 p.m. It might be a little bit sooner than that. I'm trying to make a decision on that right now. But I'll probably put out the... Ooh, poison. Look at this guy. Wants to win. I respect that. But hopefully you guys will show up for that too. I do really like playing other... Oh, that was a misclick. That was a misclick all day long. Yes, just let the Musketeer beat your Hog Rider to death. I was wiping something off of the screen. That's literally all it was. Ooh, they missed with their zap. Oh, 1-cost skeletons. You're so good. This game would be a very different game if you could use more than 8 cards. Like, there's so many cards I would like to play, but the fact that you are limited to only 8 really does change the outcome of this game and really does change your tactics. I do really actually like it. I think it's a really smart choice. Poison. Ooh, they also know that poison is great. This is going to be a fun matchup. More than willing to say that. I might lose it. That's fine. I mean, they started throwing Elixir Pump. That means they're clearly better at the game than me, because they can afford to only use 7 cards in an Elixir Pump. You know, I can't. I'm absolutely terrible at this game. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, wow. I definitely need to get something. And then I really want to throw down their Elixir production right now. They are doing a very good job of out-resourcing me. I'm about to start losing heart if I let them get away with this. I even zapped the other one. It makes sense to me, honestly. Oh man, I'm going to lose this real bad. Now, get that zap in there. Take out necessary targets. Poison, 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 poison. And then, hope to God, we can fight off that Hog Rider. We can't, mind you. Oh my God, we can. That's beautiful. Zap! Poison all of their crap. So, round 2, fight. Not like we didn't just barely squeak that out right at the end either. So, you know, this is actually a fair fight for overtime. I like their playstyle. They're playing pretty well. So got no real complaints here. I think we're going to let him hit the 3 crown tower so that we can basically charge up, get some extra action coming out here. Apparently we want to... Good, excellent. I was about to say, I really want that Dark Prince going down the correct side of the field, quite honestly. Now, since we've got poison on that that cannon, unfortunately the Hog Rider's still going for it. Not even a hit. Zap. But yeah, they went really crazy with their elixir production. If I had managed to save a little bit more HP on my right tower, that definitely would have been my game. But quite honestly, I didn't play defense enough. I could have done better. Could have done better, etc. Ak, I am totally okay with you missing stream for family stuff. Because, let's face it, family stuff's pretty darn important. If I didn't have family stuff, I could stream constantly. But, you know, there's only so much of my life that I can devote to playing video games for fun. And, you know, I really like playing video games for fun. I think you guys like playing video games for fun, too. Shocker. Yeah, level 10. That's definitely what I want to see. Level 10 barbs. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And mind you, they are level 10. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, how dare they. Like, that's just what happens. I fight level 8s all the time, too. Magic. And then, so, one of the things I really wish would be the case would be if they would, So, Poison right now is doing the exact same thing as my Ice Wizard. I did the Ice Wizard because I wanted the basically the regular wizard to have something to lock onto so that it wouldn't just wreck my face. God, more barbarians. And they use Zap to basically slow it down so their barbs got hits on my my Hog Rider. You know, good use for them. God, they are. This is not going to be a good game. Going to do poison on this side. I'm not doing all that well on the right-hand side anyway. Might as well take the piss out of their elixir. And then, so hopefully Peck will get those miners too. There we go. That's the good stuff. And throw Dark Prince on that side because I was pretty sure they were going to throw more barbs. At least I got the charge damage. That is definitely not a big victory. Ice Wizard actually distracts the miner because I get the placement right. I am not going to pretend I can do that consistently. Definitely not going to pretend that at all. If you guys hadn't noticed, we're going all out on the right side, or the left side. Oh, that wizard really messed my stuff up. Pretty bad. They're going to get me on the miner over there. There we go. Mirror match again. Let's go. I definitely shifted because I realized that all I was fighting against was the same tactics that basically work against me. I throw something and they go, oh, we should use barbarians on that. And I go, ah, crap. And definitely need to get some offense on this if we have any chance of winning. They're going for the throat. Good for them. They do get my salute for the bravery. All I'm trying to do is basically get chip damage on their tower right now. It's not going to be enough, but I'm pretty sure it's going to slow down their production that I'm going to have to worry less about this. Yeah. I didn't think this was going anywhere. I still, I don't like drawing, but I definitely went for the draw there. I got into overtime, and there wasn't too much I figured I was going to go against an unprotected lane. They're level 10 barbarians. That's just too hard to pierce. I need, realistically, to get my fire spirits up, and I need to get at least... I would love a level 5 Dark Prince. I know that I'm just basically compensating with cards, but man, I really would like a level 5 Dark Prince. I think that's, if it comes in the shop, the likelihood that I spend too much money on it is pretty high. I think Supercell knows this. I think they know that the Dark Prince is my favorite character. I love Hog Rider, don't get me wrong. Hog Rider takes care of my business entirely too often, and so does Mini Peck. But I just really like Dark Prince, and he's not the most effective unit in the game, but he is a lot of fun to play, and you can use him to push, and you can use him to guard, and he saves my butt against Sparky way too often, like way too often. So, I really appreciate the character. He's cheap enough that I can use him consistently, and he does a nice little cleave, which is one of my bigger problems, is that I don't use cleaving characters for the most part. Obviously, I picked up the Ice Wizard later on, and the fire spirits are literally there because I can't kill lots of stuff occasionally. Because I don't pick barbarians. I don't pick the sort of things that are like mass spawner decks. So I have to find ways to counter them, but also have the ability to push. And, Dark Prince does a pretty solid job of helping me do that. That's why I like him so much. Anyway, rant over. Let's see what we got here. Oh man, I can definitely not dab. That's a question for Danny, or is it Danny? Yeah, Danny. Let's butcher the last name. Kurezima. Nope. Kurezima. Anyway, that's bad no matter what. I apologize for butchering your name. I'll give it a try, but as I said, oof. But yeah, it looks like Pella and King are both also having the problem. 1940, that's the highest I've ever gotten. God, it is rough. It really is rough near the top of Royal Arena. And it kind of should be because, that makes the tintillating, like, as soon as you hit Royal or Legendary Arena, it makes you feel really great. It does that like the opening intro, and you're just like, oh man, I did it. And then they crush your feelings and then make you feel terrible. It's a really wonderful dynamic. It is. And see what we can do about this. Ooh, I thought I was gonna get the hop. Oh, they're gonna do me in so bad. Well, that's the end of that tower. I'm just gonna say thanks when people say thanks from now on. That's like the thing that people do to be sarcastic and being like, haha, I got one over on you. And I'm like, oh, you're so cool. You said thanks, which means thank you, I appreciate you. But what it really means is I'm a complete jerk and, I'm spitting venom at you, which is the opposite of what it means, obviously. Boop, boop, boop. And for those of you who, oh man, there we go, there we go. Rage is a really strong, ability, honestly. And I don't use it just because I really feel like it's not suitable for my playstyle. I don't think personally Rage works against every situation, which is the reason why I don't like it. But I could also just be really bad at playing Rage, honestly. Like, that could be the issue, is that I'm just not good with it. So this has been a bit of a toss-up. There hasn't been anything very specific that they've thrown at me. I haven't thrown anything strong at them. I basically zagged instead of pushed everything through because I didn't want their left side to basically get a whole bunch of damage for not enough elixir cost. Ice Wizard's going this way. I'm tempted to trade. Part of me wants to trade. They still haven't played another unit yet. They're basically saying, hey, what are we gonna do? And there's your 3 Musketeer kill, 4 Elixir, etc. Obviously, the Royal Giant was beating the heck out of me the entire time, and I got no trade for it, which means this is basically going to go directly to hell. They used, skeletons, 1 Elixir skeletons, to basically counter some of my stuff. I would totally use 1 Elixir skeletons if I was using a Royal Giant deck, because sometimes you just need to be able to squeeze a unit out. And that is literally the point of those 1 Elixir units. There we go. This will be some damage. And so, essentially, the deck that I play right now, as soon as Royal Giants became a thing, I became very interested in playing it. If you give me the ability to basically sit there and fight against something that can't fight back, and you don't kill my units, that means that I have a tremendous amount of damage that I can throw down. And I mean, it's the same thing as a counter push for everybody. The biggest problem I have is that I've realized that I really need to get better at playing defense or figure something out, so that I can counter push better. And man, like that really is the hardest part of playing a deck, is the counter push. Also, I don't think I opened a chest, which stinks because I really want full rewards for doing this. Oh man, boss acts as a hedgehog. Is it a fast-moving hedgehog that likes chili dogs? What is going on, Evil Harp? It's good to see you. Ooh, it's a good fireball on their side. We're definitely going to lose that tower pretty quick. Royal Giants are... I mean, it's funny because they made Royal Giants so that they have enough range that they can basically range just about any defensive structure. So you have to play your defensive structure carefully. But man, like, and honestly, that's the reason why people have given up defensive structures so much, on top of the other nerfs. But man, I mean, geez, he's definitely doing the damage. I'm not thinking that this is gonna go to anything except for a probable draw. I'm not trying to draw once again. Like, I really am trying to win these. It's just the question is what's gonna work out. And then here it is. I don't think we're gonna kill him fast enough, and quite honestly, I'm not sure if we're gonna get across that line. And then there's a Sparky behind it. He didn't play Sparky this entire time. Gotch. It's gonna be fun. Oh, it stinks. I'm gonna throw Hawk Rider out, get him to do his business, at least distract some, honestly. Ice Wizard right here. We do have Fireball, so we can't clump up too much. If we're gonna have an open shot for it, we might as well take it. We'll throw Fire Spirits. Ooh, and he threw Fireball. So at least we managed to milk some Elixir out of him. That's probably gonna slow him down. We got a solid charge out of it. Good read for me. I'm gonna accept all accolades for doing such. Yeah, I don't think we can slow this guy down again. Sucks. Ooh, just enough. There's the Fireball. Anyway, the counter push, as soon as I saw it, I was like, is that all you got? I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, that's all I got in the tank. I wanted to throw more, but there really wasn't a lot of good options, because I knew that as soon as he turned right back around, he was going to Royal Giant me, and who would have thought? I died to Royal Giants. Usually you can kill them pretty easily, but people who have good counter decks on top of it, they have good defense, I'm not going to do so hot against them. And I'll probably have to switch out my deck sometime soon. But I don't honestly know what I'm going to go to. I have not inspired myself enough yet to really want to pick on something else. Okay, so this counter push is going to be gross. I really hope they don't have rage. So no charges were gotten there, except for the one for the Dark Prince. Don't get me wrong, Dark Prince charge is awesome. That's why I use the character. But we didn't want the regular Prince to get his charge off. That's why we did the Fire Spirits. They were still quickly cleaned up. Oh god, double Pika with the Princess. Woo! Anyway. Some things are inevitable, right? I don't know if I have a deck that's really going to do it, honestly. And then, so we'll throw Spear Goblins to Kite. Oh my god, who would have thought the Princess took them out? Crazy. And then, so Tower's managing to basically push that off. We'll zap. Oh, we didn't even need to zap. That was literally how much health he had. I thought that was his shield for sure. Anyway, this guy's laughing at me because he knows that I just busted two elixir on zap, basically making it so that any counter push that I would have gotten is wasted, which is unfortunate. You can always go for basically a split push against this. It's just you'll probably lose very quickly thereafter. So unfortunately, we're going to have to try really hard to get this back on our side and get some elixir trade out of it. Playing first is probably not going to help. And I want to poison that, but I also, it really is a hard decision because, quite honestly, I know they're going to be pecking and princing. So if I know that, and princessing, god, so bad. So Fire Spirits did a pretty solid job. We've managed to cycle back around to poison. That is good. We are going to need it. There we go. Hog Rider managed to block the Prince charge. I'm not so sure we have any chance of getting that P.E.K.K.A. away from our tower. I'm pretty positive we don't, but we're going to try it anyway. Yeah, they're just going to keep coming over and over and over again. And, I mean, it's funny because they've never nerfed this strategy. And I'm sure people are plenty good against playing against it. Just my deck is not. The more I play this deck, the more I realize it has obvious flaws. I think the majority of my ascent into Royal Arena came from opportune timing at the end of patches. I've got no problem admitting that I play opportunistic, I play opportunistically. Like, there's no reason not to look at what's going on and at least think about what's going to be fun. Anyway. King, you can tell me a million times that it's Pika instead of P.E.K.K.A. or P.E.K.K.A. instead of Pika, and I'm just going to say whatever falls out of my mouth, honestly. It doesn't matter to me what they're called. I call them Pika because that sounds cuter. That's just how it is. And then see what else we could do here. And then I did get actually solid advice there from Bossack. He goes, you should put the cannon in your deck. It's probably true. Like, it really is. Like, it's such a solid unit for the cost. Like, it would be hard to debate that because literally it is a good idea. I don't know what I would replace, though, is the biggest problem. I'm not getting rid of the P.E.K.K.A. I mean, technically I could get rid of the Ice Wizard, but I don't want to. I could get rid of Fire Spirits, which would hurt my feelings, but it probably would be the smart choice. And then, so those Fire Spirits are a little bit slow. They can zap those pretty easily. Or they can just let them hit their tower. I mean, that's cool, too. That zap was poorly placed. I was trying to hit the tower with it. Easily going to understand that there might be repercussions for that. Spear Goblins are probably going to clean it up for us. I don't feel like this person's playing any longer. I could be wrong. Hard to say. Nope, they're still playing. And then I think as soon as they get over that line, we're just gonna jump on top of their Royal Giant and kill it, because we're nice guys. So they'll definitely get the tower with this. They've got Minion Horde. My Zap is not high enough level that I can just kill Minion Horde. That is what I'm working on right now, though. So hey, we'll see about that. Screw it, we'll just throw poison right here, we'll deal with all of this, and then I think we're going to push this out, get some more hits on their tower. Oh, go my little balls of fire, it's beautiful. And then we're going to do this. And I think that's GG. Pretty sure that's the appropriate amount of damage out of the poison spell. Nope. Apparently I still don't know my numbers. Boo! Zap. Done. Anyway. What are my numbers for poison? That is the question. Now that I'm curious. I feel like they're 220, and maybe that was at 240, and I was just being dumb. 55 damage a second, but 10 to... Yeah, okay, so it is. Excellent, excellent, excellent. But yeah, I don't know. I could probably switch out the... I could probably switch out something for a cannon. I just don't like having that little anti-air. People don't play air as much as they used to, but man, I will lose to a balloon, that is for darn sure. And I just haven't had any balloons today, so the point hasn't been taken. Boo boo boo. Do 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 do. And yeah, so the question is, am I gemming through Silver Chest to cycle through Magical and Super Magical and get Giant? That's, I mean, that's basically what I'm doing. I figure it doesn't take too much money to gem in this game for that sort of cycle. If I wanted to just buy gems and then buy Super Magical chests, I could do that. But the reason why I figure I do this is that you'll get Magical and you'll get Giant chests eventually. You can technically get Super Magical. It's a really low occurrence. It's happened to me, I think, once. Maybe it's twice, actually, now that I think about it. I think I've gotten twice. And the only way you can get a super magical chest is if, you know, you've got a chest slot open. So that's sort of the basis of what I'm doing. I'm gonna do I think I'm gonna be done for the day right now. You guys will hopefully come back for more. I'll schedule another one. I'll probably try to do two streams of this weekly. That way you guys won't go without. The next one will probably be, maybe it'll be Monday. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But hopefully you like what I'm doing still. Feel free to like, subscribe. I always like the conversation. Even if I can't say Pika correctly, I still like having King around, because let's face it, there's nothing better than having another opinion. As I said, I'm probably going to restructure my deck sometime soon. It's fun. I've hit almost Legendary Arena, but until I consistently get in Legendary Arena with this deck, it's hard for me to not debate against switching things up. Hopefully you guys like what I'm doing. As I said, I still have a lot of fun playing this game. This is my morning, noon, and night game. You know, you show up, you play for a little bit, and you go, okay, cool, put it down. And so I don't imagine that I'll ever really stop playing it unless Supercell gives me really good reasons to go toxic on this game. They have not done that at all up to this point. I'm very proud of them for that. Most of the games I've played that are on mobile go toxic at some point where it just becomes obvious that the game is a money pit. Is this game a money pit? Could be. I mean, do you need to get to Legendary Arena now? Then it is a money pit. Oh my god, it is a money pit if you want to brute force your way into Legendary Arena. Just because they give you the resources to level up your cards. So if you level up something that isn't a solid strat right now, or you need to overlevel your cards to make your strat work, then yeah, it's a money pit. But it's a good money pit. Like, it's such a good money pit. I have very, very few complaints about this game. They're balanced. They keep doing it right. So, as I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep playing this game. I'll try to do 2 streams weekly. That does seem like something I can still accomplish. I'm doing help for AWOL. Playing Overwatch, doing fun stuff there. I probably should put a link in there just for AWOL's channel because I'm mentioning it. That way, if you want to, you can watch me stream there. Hopefully, you guys came over from his channel to begin with because he's awesome and he's who's helping me figure out how to make this channel better. But yeah, this has been Aero for mobile games. Still doing Clash Royale, still enjoying it. Eventually, I'll hit Legendary Arena. God knows when. I thought I was so close, and hopefully you guys will be there for it. We're gonna continue the gemming fashion. And hopefully we'll get some like good juicy bits out of it so we can do nice reveals and chest openings. So yeah, until next time, have a good day, have fun, Aero out.